When you hear San Francisco, what comes to mind? The news calls it a crime-ridden city, but the people who have actually lived here for decades tell a very different story. So we skipped the headlines and went straight to the source. Thousands of locals who have spent their entire lives in and around the Bay Area. It started on Reddit, America's largest online community, where a family leaving after 40 years shared their final bucket list, and nearly 500 locals replied. Those replies became a goldmine, decades of lived experience, hidden gems, and honest warnings, all crowdsourced from the people who know this place best. We gathered every answer, fact-checked each claim against official data, and distilled it into the real Bay Area. But first, the question everyone asks before booking a flight: is San Francisco actually a dangerous city, or is that reputation completely outdated? In 2025, total crime in San Francisco dropped more than 25% in a single year, according to official police data. Homicides hit a 70-year low, and car break-ins, the crime tourists fear most, have fallen by more than half over the past few years. So where does the dangerous image come from? Crime here isn't spread across the city. It's concentrated in just a few small districts. The Tenderloin, parts of Civic Center, and a few blocks of Soma, a tiny slice of the map, ended up defining the entire city's reputation. The local advice is simple. Those blocks have nothing you need, avoid them at night, and never, ever leave anything visible in your parked car. Follow those rules, and the other 90% of San Francisco is a stunning, walkable, endlessly surprising city, the one locals are proud of. So where do the locals actually go? First stop, a 100-year-old church where people roller skate down the aisle under stained glass windows. The Church of 8 Wheels, an old sanctuary converted into a roller disco. Locals call it the most San Francisco place in all of San Francisco. If you love music, the Fillmore is sacred ground. Legends have played this stage since the 60s, and lucky concertgoers still get free posters at the door. Tucked into Fisherman's Wharf is the Musée Mécanique, hundreds of antique coin-operated arcade machines, over a century old, that you can still play today. And don't walk the Golden Gate Bridge, bike it. Ride across to Sausalito, grab lunch by the water, and take the ferry back. That's the local route. Fun fact, plenty of locals admit they've lived here 40 years and never once set foot on Alcatraz. Some things really are just for the tourists. Now cross the bridge heading north, because this is where the nature locals genuinely treasure begins, and where most visitors never think to go. On moonless nights in Tamales Bay, every paddle stroke makes the water glow electric blue. Bioluminescent plankton light up the sea around your kayak. At Point Reyes, herds of Toutle elk graze along the bluffs while the Pacific stretches endlessly below. Pure California wilderness, 1 hour from the city. Alameda Falls is one of the rare waterfalls in America that pours directly onto a beach and into the ocean. The coastal hike there is half the reward. In Muir Woods, redwoods hundreds of years old block out the sky entirely. Reservations are required. Plenty of locals learned that one the hard way. In the Marin Headlands, walk through a hand-carved tunnel to Point Bonita Lighthouse, the single best view of the Golden Gate from the other side. Now let's follow the coastline south. Highway 1 isn't just the road to a destination. The drive itself is the destination. Pacifica has what locals call the most beautiful Taco Bell in America, perched right on the beach, with surfers in wetsuits lining up for tacos. At Fitzgerald Marine Reserve in Moss Beach, time your visit to low tide and the rocks reveal starfish, anemones, and if you're lucky, an octopus. In the village of Pescadero, grab warm artichoke bread and fresh goat cheese from the farm. Melodity said that this morning. And in springtime, you can actually cuddle baby goats. Then there's Año Nuevo State Park. From December through March, thousands of massive elephant seals completely take over the beach for breeding season. Winter visits require a guided tour reservation, and locals say it's worth every step. One of the great wildlife spectacles anywhere in California. Cross the Bay Bridge heading east and you'll find the East Bay. Barely mentioned in the guidebooks, but this is where locals spend their weekends. At Chabot Space and Science Center in the Oakland Hills, telescope viewing is completely free on clear Friday and Saturday nights, all year round. In Tilden Park, ride a miniature train powered by real steam, then feed the animals at the little farm next door. Kids absolutely lose their minds here. Docked in Alameda is the USS Hornet, a full World War II aircraft carrier turned floating museum that you can explore deck by deck. This is the actual ship that pulled the Apollo astronauts out of the ocean. Its night tours are famous as a test of courage. It's supposedly haunted. And here's a local hot take. The Oakland Zoo beats the San Francisco Zoo, with native California animals like grizzly bears, wolves, and mountain lions. Now head south towards Silicon Valley, where some genuinely unexpected attractions are hiding in plain sight between the tech campuses. San Jose's Winchester Mystery House. A rifle heiress spent 38 years building non-stop staircases into ceilings, doors to nowhere, pure obsession. Nearby, the Rosicrucian Egyptian Museum holds the largest collection of Egyptian artifacts in Western America, including real, genuine mummies. The Computer History Museum in Mountain View is the heart of Silicon Valley, the entire story of human computing gathered under one single roof. Right next to Palo Alto, Stanford University is a destination in itself. Stunning sandstone architecture, world-class sculptures, game day energy at the stadium, and great food just downtown. Filoli Gardens in Woodside is spectacular in every season, and its year-end holiday light festival has become a beloved tradition for local families. One fact check. Lick Observatory on Mount Hamilton was damaged in the Christmas windstorm and is only partially open right now. Check before you visit. But if you'd rather sweat than sightsee, the locals have strong opinions here too, and their recommendations are surprisingly unanimous. For beginner surfing, it's Lindamar Beach in Pacifica. Gentle waves, surf schools right on the sand, and every August, an actual dog surfing championship. Fair warning, Northern California water is cold even in summer, so wetsuits are mandatory. And expert breaks like Ocean Beach have dangerous rip currents. For hiking, the big three are Sunrise at Mission Peak, the century-old Dipsy Trail through the Redwoods, and the coastal trek out to Alamere Falls. For cycling, the classic is biking the Golden Gate and ferrying back, while serious road cyclists treat the old La Honda climb as sacred ground. And there's a beach for every mood. Baker Beach with its bridge views, evening bonfires at Ocean Beach, and hang gliders soaring over Fort Funston. Drive just 1 hour south and the whole vibe changes. Welcome to Santa Cruz, Northern California's laid-back, sun-soaked surf capital. At Natural Bridges State Park, from October through February, tens of thousands of monarch butterflies turn the eucalyptus grove a brilliant orange. The 100-year-old beach boardwalk still runs its classic wooden roller coaster, and a steam train rolls down from the Redwoods straight to the sand. A little further south, the Monterey Bay Aquarium isn't cheap, but even penny-pinching locals agree it's one of the finest aquariums on Earth. Now swing north to Napa Valley. At dawn, hot air balloons rise over the vineyards, and every May the Bottle Rock Festival takes over the whole valley. Sink into a warm Calistoga mud bath, then spend the afternoon tasting wine on a terrace overlooking the vines. That's the classic, perfected. That's the classic Napa day, perfected. But here's the local tip. Skip crowded Napa for neighboring Sonoma. More relaxed, better value, and Jack London State Park is a hidden picnic gem. Every August, Golden Gate Park hosts Outside Lands. Tyler the Creator, Doja Cat, and Hosier headlined recently, and Paul McCartney and Radiohead have graced this stage. From free bluegrass festivals in October to elephant seals in winter, fog rules July and August, while September and October bring the clearest skies. So here's the honest summary. San Francisco's danger is a story about a few small blocks, and the data keeps improving every single year. That's the power of collective intelligence. 10,000 locals will always know a city better than any single guidebook ever could. Which city should we investigate next? Drop your bucket list and recommendations in the comments. The best ones become future episodes. Subscribe and explore with us.